Hi folks, Russ Longcore here at portableonlinebusiness.com. We match up people who want a home business with exciting and profitable businesses that can be started from home on a shoestring budget. Now you're into part 4 today of a 6-part series of how to make money online. And what we're doing here in this 6-part series is to show you how to evaluate any kind of a business opportunity that you might be considering for your home business. There are thousands of opportunities, thousands of different choices to make, and we want to give you the criteria that we believe are the top 12 things that you need to look at as you take a look at a home-based business. Home-based business is a wonderful thing. It gives you ultimate freedom, ultimate ability to earn a wonderful living, and time. Folks, it's all about time. Don't forget, if you don't get anything from what I say to you, get this. Your life is about time. Your life is not about money. Your life is not about the things that you accumulate. Your life is about time. And if you're spending all your time working for somebody else, that means that those are hours that you'll never get back, that you can never invest in the people that you love and the things that you want to do. Start dreaming again, folks. You can have it all. So today we're going to be talking about number 7 and number 8 in the evaluation process. Here's what we've done so far. Number 1, highly consumable, life essential product or service. Number 2, large, growing, inelastic market need. Number 3, ultralight startup costs. Number 4, low overhead. And today, and last time in number 3, we talked about no inventory, and in point number 6, we talked about having no employees. Can you imagine having a business that you can grow and scale and get as big as you want to and have no employees? You can, you know. Today, in part 4, we're going to be talking about number 7 and number 8. Number 7 is this. Get your piece of paper out and write this down. Here is the thing that you want to look for, the 7th most important thing that you can look for when you're evaluating a business for yourself. Number 7 is no licensing, no chargebacks, no sales quotas, and you can't revert. Let me explain that. Let's talk about the first one, no licensing. I've been in the insurance business on and off since 1973. I've either been an agent or I've been an insurance adjuster. So most of my working lifetime, I've had to get a license. When I first got my agent's license, I had to go through a 40-hour course and pass it. And then once I passed that, I had to go take an insurance licensing test and pass that. And then each year after that, I've had to get no less than 15 hours of continuing education credits just to maintain my license. And you know, lots of different opportunities, lots of different businesses, like real estate agents, insurance agents, and lots of other businesses where you have to be licensed just to play in that sandbox. You know what I mean? And so in this situation, wouldn't you like to have a business that you don't have to be licensed? And in our businesses here at Portable Online Business, there are no licensing requirements. I know of another networking company, a couple other networking companies. One sells insurance, that's Primerica. You got to go through a big long licensing process there. With multiple products, you got to go through multiple licenses. And another one is prepaid legal. There are many of the states when you're in prepaid legal that you have to get a license in. And I don't know if you have to pass any kind of a test or not, but you at the very least have to get a business license in some different states if you're going to sell there. So even in networking, there are instances in which you have to get a license. Well, folks, in the ones that we deal with, the life essential services that we deal with, you don't have to get a license. That's an exciting thing. You don't have to get a license. Secondly, no chargebacks. Now, for you folks that have been in sales, you're going to understand what I mean. If you've ever had a sales contract that annualizes your commissions and pays you the commissions all up front, I mean, that's nice. Don't get me wrong. It's wonderful because you get all your commissions up front. You don't have to wait for them. The problem, the downside about a chargeback is this: if you sell, for example, I'll give it to you. When I was in the insurance business, sell a policy, pick up a check, you write the application for insurance policy. You pick up the check for 1 month's premium, and you turn in that application. A couple weeks later, the insurance company annualizes that thing. In other words, they take that monthly, to multiply it by 12, and they take the annual premium, and then multiply that times the commission rate. In my situation, it was 103% for the first year. So they would send me a check for 103% of the first year commission, and I'd only picked up 1/12 or 1 month's premium. Now that's wonderful. The whole idea is it's wonderful if that insured continues to make their premium payments. But here's what happens if they don't, for whatever reason. And I'm not assessing a reason why they're bad people or something. But if they drop that policy, then the insurance company backs out that commission that they paid you. That's a chargeback. Now, I've had situations in many instances where I was expecting a check of thousands of dollars, and when the check came, it was not thousands of dollars. Now, what do you do in a situation like that when you're expecting a payday and you had a chargeback that you didn't know about, and all of a sudden they back out the commission, and you're left holding a check that is way less than what you think? What are you going to tell mama? I mean, what are you going to tell your mortgage company? What are you going to tell the power company that, oh, I just didn't get paid enough, wait until next month? I don't think so. They usually don't like that. So our businesses have no chargebacks. You need to find a business that doesn't have any kind of chargebacks on commission. The next thing about this is that you don't want to have sales quotas. Folks, if you've ever been in sales, I mean, it doesn't make any difference if you sell cars or if you sell insurance, any kind of a thing. If you're an employee and you're in sales, somebody's going to expect you to sell X number of dollars just to cover your salary. And if you don't, they're going to show you the door. Let me give you a perfect example. When I came to Atlanta in 1992, I didn't have a job. I just came to Atlanta because it was such a hotbed of economic activity. And I thought, well, anybody can sell cars. I'll go sell cars. So I went to a Chevy dealer and walked in, and I actually got the job. It's Jim Ellis Chevrolet in Chamblee, and at the time, the sales manager for new cars was a guy named Phil Marshall. Wonderful human being. I wish I knew where he was. I think he's still doing okay. But Phil was just a gracious, kind gentleman. But after 90 days, he pulled me into his office and said, Russ, selling cars is not for you. You really need to go get another job, do something else. And fortunately, for me, I got into the claims business almost immediately thereafter, and it was a rocket ship ride after that. I loved the claims business, but they expected me to sell something at the Chevy dealer, and I wasn't a good car salesman. Well, that's what you need to look at if you're going to have a business of your own. You need to be in a situation where you control what you sell. You don't have quotas. Now, I'm not suggesting that quotas are bad for you. I'm just suggesting that you can get fired from a job if you don't make your quotas. In our businesses, you don't have quotas, and that's a terrific thing. You run as fast as you can. If you set records, next year somebody's not going to increase your quota and make it more difficult for you to repeat that. So find a business that doesn't have any quotas. And finally, find a business that you can't revert. In many situations with, I talked about this at first about chargebacks. In many network marketing companies, if you hit record levels of sales 1 month, but you don't hit those same record levels of sales the next month, the company can reduce your commissions. Find something that doesn't happen. Our company, that does not happen. So that's number 7. No licensing, no chargebacks, no sales quotas, and you can't revert. Now number 8 is very important also. And here's what it is: no territorial or geographic restrictions for your business. Now think about the opposite. If you have a territorial or geographic restriction, what does that What does that restrict in essence? Well, it restricts your ability to make a living, right? If you have a Subway sub shop in a strip mall someplace, you're in Atlanta, or let's say you're in Marietta, where I am. You're not going to sell Subway subs to somebody that's out in Stone Mountain, 40 miles away. It's just not going to happen. So unless you've got monster traffic going past your sub shop, you're going to have a tough time making a living. And that's one of the things that comes up with territorial restrictions, is that if you've got a territory, like you got a franchise or something like that, you got a territory, and you can only make a living in a certain area right around your brick and mortar store. That's tough. Let me give you another example out of my own life. When I was in the construction business back in the 80s with my father, we looked at having a Service Master franchise. Now, Service Master franchise, for you that are not familiar with it, is fire restoration, carpet cleaning, all those kinds of things. It was a related business to our construction company, and if we had pulled the trigger on having a Service Master franchise, we would have had a franchise just for the county or two counties that were right next. The county we lived in and the county that was next to us. But there were Service Master franchises all around us. So the idea was that you couldn't market in somebody else's county because that was their county. But that didn't keep the people from ServPro, another competitor, from coming in and putting something right across the street from us and marketing in our same area. So just because you have a geographic restriction or a territorial restriction doesn't mean that's necessarily bad, but it can be very restrictive on your income. Well, in this situation, when you have a home-based business, you don't want to have any kind of territorial or geographic restrictions. You want to be able to do business anywhere that you can. Now, you might end up with something like territorial restriction of only in the United States. But there are many other companies that are international, so you might want to consider that. We have one company that's in the energy field, and we can only do business in the states where deregulation has happened. Obviously, if you're not in, we have 6 states there, and if you're not in one of those states, we can't do business in that state where deregulation hasn't occurred. So the best thing you can do is find something that doesn't have a territorial or geographic restriction. So that's it for part 4 for these two, number 7 and number 8, the most important things that you can do to evaluate any kind of a business opportunity. Now, if you'll look down here below, you'll find another link to part 5. And part 5 will deal with, let's take a look. Part 5 is going to deal with the number 9, highly duplicatable, and number 10, monthly residual income. Ooh, there's a lot we can talk about on there. That'll be exciting. So come back with us. Thank you for stopping in today in part 4 of this Make Money Online video. Look forward to seeing you in the next section, and good luck and goodbye.